You'll remember Nellie as a living, vital presence. I hope you can take comfort too from the love and the closeness that each of you shared with Nellie. What has been forever. Let's be grateful that Nellie was part of your lives, and let her influence, her character, her warmth and her deeds live on. We affirm today all that was good, true, generous and unique in the life of Nellie. And so what brings us here ultimately is love for Nellie. Her love that will carry on in spite of her passing. I'd like to invite Mother Jacqui to come forward and share her thoughts. Thanks, Jacqui.
Welcome everyone. My name is Jacqui and I'm Nellie's mum. I'd like to thank you all for coming to Nellie's service today. The flowers, cards, phone calls, text messages I've received have been very comforting and consoling for my family and myself. I'd like to give special thanks to my father Jeff and mother Jenny, whose financial and emotional assistance and support have been indispensable. I know each and every one of you hold special memories of Nellie, and that is why you are here today. She had a unique way of connecting with others while remaining true to herself. Nellie was a warm and open-hearted person in a busy, ambitious world of material excess. But she loved people and animals most. One of her favourite pastimes was giving away her possessions, even things her sister and I gave her to keep. Last year she said, "You know that jumper you bought me?" "Yes," I said. "I gave that to Molly." "Oh," I said with a puzzled look. I looked in Molly's sleeping quarters and she had a ton of beautiful colourful jumpers and cardigans to snuggle into. Molly was her pet ferret. When we were living down the south coast, the deputy principal said that Nellie would bring in clothes for the Aboriginal girls at Moorooka High School who didn't have anything special to wear. I didn't know that about her. He said it showed she really cared enough to do something concrete for them. He said Nellie's a very caring person. In high school, she consistently achieved A grades in English. As a teacher, I know that A grades in English have to be earned with blood, sweat and tears. I always thought my teachers were trying to torment me, whereas Nellie loved school. I recall once while I was out shopping in Narooma, her English teacher stopped me in the street to heap praise on her for her English work. The letters section of the Herald was Nell's first published work. She was about 8 or 9 years old. It was a piece on the environment and the Great Barrier Reef. We were all so proud of her. That same year she won a dancing competition and a large photo of her posing appeared in the local paper. I always said to her as she was growing up that she would make a really good journalist. She was a good writer, a natural pessimist, and she believed in helping those who were less fortunate. She applied for a job in administration at the Sydney Morning Herald and beat solicitors and others with degrees trying to get a foot in the door. Sometime later, she was asked to write a piece for a travel section of the paper, a bed and breakfast place on the Colo River. I was so touched that she had invited me to stay with her when she could have asked anyone. We went canoeing along the river, bike riding, and then had a big lobster platter for dinner. It was great to read her about her experiences in the paper. She did some food styling for photographers as well, but eating was her passion. She loved posting meals on Facebook. Maybe it's strange, but I look forward to what gustatory delights she would post next. She liked raw organic food, spicy food, Japanese food, and wood-fired pizza. Nellie was to live in Sydney's leafy inner west suburb of Annandale for well over 10 years. She usually had a very busy schedule filled with work, meetings, her group and therapy sessions with psychologists, a gym class or a Bikram yoga class. She would usually finish the day by taking George and Molly for a walk to the park where they attracted a lot of attention. Molly and George were her pet ferrets that she inherited from Angus McKinnon many years ago, a fellow animal lover. Nellie looked after Angus's dad and who hired her services from All About Caring. Nellie had a number of patients and Angus's dad, a doctor, was one of them. Angus and Nellie became friends after his father passed away. Nellie was very affected by his passing, as she had spent so much time with him. Angus said she would take him to the art gallery or they would go out to coffee. Angus said she was absolutely meticulous in the care of his father, and she was by far the best carer they had had. Nellie spoke fondly about how he would hold her by the arm with a look that was as proud as punch. She really enjoyed her work and the people she met there. She also did some travelling to Melbourne and Brisbane for a solicitor that was wheelchair bound. She used to say to me that she didn't want to have kids of her own. She believed that as the population was ageing, elderly people needed someone like her to look after them, and that's what she wanted to do with her life. I really admired her for that. She was an angel in the true sense of the word. You never needed to ask when you needed help. She just seemed to know. We've always had time and energy for each other when it has been needed by any one of us. There was never anything missing when we were together. In 2013, Jessica, Nellie and myself went travelling to Bali together. It was my 50th birthday present from the girls. We had amazing fun. Nellie booked an elephant ride, we went scuba diving and had dinner out every night. The only crisis we had on the holiday was when Jess got lost on a rainy evening after dinner. Luckily we found her though. In 2014, Nell and I went away for a week to Caloundra in Queensland. It was then that I noticed that Nellie was acting out of character and not herself. The disease, like a cancer, had returned. Over the following 18 months, her life continued on a downward spiral. Fast forward to 22nd of January this year, the receptionist at my doctor's clinic told me that my doctor's son had died at age 30. My appointment was cancelled with her. My first thought was, I'm glad it's not Nellie. However, my anxiety was not to be relieved. Suffice on dreadful coincidence of fate, my very own daughter died several days later on Australia Day from a similar disease. She was just 34 years of age. When I finally got to see my doctor, we held each other tightly, and after a few moments, she let go and said in her strong Welsh accent, "Well, Jacqui, we haven't won the lottery, have we?" "No, doctor, we haven't," I said. "We have renamed Australia Day Nellie's Day in her honour, and because Australia is a sadder place without people like Nellie in it. We've lost our beautiful angel." Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jacqui, for a beautiful tribute to Nellie. I'd now like to invite Amanda to come forward to share her thoughts on Nellie. Thanks.
Today is just a sad day. Nellie's passing is a tragedy for those of us who were closest, who really knew and loved Nellie. I will remember Nellie easily and often. She was such a very beautiful, warm and giving person. Nellie was very generous with her friends and with family. She was part of a community that shared real troubles. One of the most beautiful qualities about Nell was how warm, candid and funny she was in sharing her own version of this challenge many of us share. Nell was extremely close to her mum, sister Jess, granddad and Jenny. I know she loved them very, very much. I also know that Nellie loved her closest friends, and these included Beck, Fee, Kirsten and me. And I'm sure I'm missing out some people that I don't intend to, and they know who they are. We had a lot of fun together. Nell adored her beautiful ferrets. I often wish that I had the same palatial standard of living as George and Molly. I love Nellie. I love how honest and authentic she was as a friend. No matter what was occurring in her life, Nellie listened to mine and others' problems, and for such a long time was really present through our tough times. She didn't always feel it, and none of us always do, but Nellie was courageous and she was resilient. Nell practiced Buddhism. She loved the practice's non-judgmental quality, and we really shared a love for meditation. She excelled and adored yoga. We bonded 11 years ago in a shared experience of recovery, and most importantly, muddling our way through making changes in our lives. Nell was fiercely loyal. I will miss speaking with Nellie as we tried to gain an understanding of people and situations in our lives, and her willingness to go to the heart of whatever issues she was facing. We would indulge ourselves to the point of illness in ice creams and sweets and sometimes a beautiful meal. I have so many beautiful memories of dinners and celebrations